Tell us a little bit about your character, Cam. Tell us about this character.
Cam's got some mental issues. He's got bipolar, suicidal. He struggles with depression and addiction, and he's got kind of a complicated life. He's an artist. He's a cartoonist and illustrator. But he plays kind of the pure artist type, and he's got a kid named Jack who's at the age where they just start to show their kind of true colors. And he's married, getting divorced to a girl who's currently using, and he's got about a year's sobriety, so he's just trying to kind of part ways with his old behaviors and old habits and kind of trying to grow up and be a responsible father. But yeah, he struggles with substance abuse, and substance abuse in our culture is it's usually people with chemical imbalances who are searching to be filled up by something because they're imbalanced. So most people turn to street drugs or prescription pills, anything but sort of your typical SSRI medication.
Mm-hmm.
So his choice that he turns to is heroin. And I think he dabbled in heroin a little bit with Sophie to kind of expand his mind and open up his mind to his art. And he got hooked on it, and so he's about a year sober when this show starts.
Mm-hmm. And Sophie is also kind of.
And this is from Boston.
This
is from Boston.
We're the Boston CBS affiliate.
There was this great HBO. I know it's like a
Oh, on heroin.
On heroin.
Yeah, in Cape Cod.
Cape Cod,
Yeah.
the heroin story of Cape Cod.
Yeah.
And that was really useful.
Yeah.
Because I guess the whole thing that people don't, heroin was kind of a drug in the ghettos with poverty, and so it became this dirty thing that people didn't want to talk about. And it's easy to go into the ghettos and go, all right, do you guys need help? Because they're so beaten down, they'll take anything. They'll go, yes, help us. Mm-hmm. But the hardest issues to crack is the white upper class Americans, because they go, well, nothing's wrong with us because we have mansions and we have cars and we have all this stuff, and so we look fine. So what's wrong? But really, on the inside, spiritually, they're crumbling. And so, you look at these people, and these are the people that the show's about, right? It's about looking at heroin as not just like a street drug problem. It's a problem with really wealthy kids, mm-hmm. Which was shown in that Cape Cod.
Did you watch that as you were preparing for the role?
Yeah.
Or did you just happen upon it and said, I think this kind of relates to what we're doing here?
I called this cute girl that I met from Boston, and I said, you gotta help me, I'm doing research. It was just a reason to reach out to her. And she said, oh, I heard there was this thing on, Boston with the heroin epidemic. And I was really just looking for an accent. I wanted to find a Boston accent. Everyone says, oh, just watch Cheers.
Or The Town, or Good Will Hunting, or The Departed.
Yeah, right.
So did you affect a Boston accent for this role, or did you elect not to do that?
No, they didn't want it. They kind of wanted, sort of the whole family's kind of, well-traveled, and they're not, it's not a story about blue class. It's upper class, white collar.
Right, so the accent isn't quite as thick there. Yeah. Cam has a pretty messed up relationship with Sophie. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that relationship. Well, she's sort of his heroine. In addition to the actual heroine, she's like heroin to him.
Yeah, from what I've seen and what I've heard, a lot of, once you get clean from drugs and alcohol, what's left is a love addict or a codependent, or somebody that has other issues from their childhood, but his, one of his main curses in his family is abandonment, and it's because his parents abandoned him to wealth and to work, and they weren't there to, tune into their kids, and one of their kids is a recluse, which is Garrett, and one of their kids is a drug addict, and one of their kids is thinking, if I become mayor and I become powerful, then that's going to solve my problem. So everyone's got their own problem from the dysfunctionality of the curse of the family. But yeah, Cam's definitely got a codependent. You know, she's a drug. I don't know what's worse for him, is the heroin addiction or her, because he sees her and he's swept away into a high.
His son is also not doing well. Jack's not doing well. What's going on with him? He's kind of got a strange obsession with death, and what exactly is going on with Jack?
Yeah, I think, well, you know, Jack is a reflection of Sophie and Cam. You know, he's a product of two artistic kids with no boundaries, and so he's starting to show, he's at that age where he will become a teenager in the next 2 years, and he's starting to show cracks in the innocent boy, that he's starting to show signs of what most parents would call being bad, you know. And a lot of parents, you know, this is the point when they're that age where they have to start shaping, they try to shape their kid, and they go, that's bad, don't do that, and then they start, you know, that's where the wounds start, you know. And the wounds start with you know, telling their kid that it's not okay to be who you are, and then more wounds, you know, come out of that. So I think Cam's looks at Jack almost like he's his parent, you know. I don't think, I when I was first doing this, I was like, I'm gonna have a 10-year-old kid, like, I was like, I don't know how to do that. But then I realized, I was like, I don't think Cam would know how to do that. And so I just played what my experience is, which is I don't know how to have a kid. And I don't think he knows how to have a kid because he doesn't know how to parent himself, which is like most drug addicts. So I think that with Jack, he's trying to walk the line between supporting his authenticity but not shaming him.
Does Cam have a sense of who the killer is when this all kind of starts to come out, that there's some connection with the family? Does he have a suspicion, or do you? Because my understanding is you guys don't yet know who the killer is.
No, but I don't know who the killer is, but I have my guess.
I won't ask you to reveal it.
No, I'm not telling anyone, but I've written it down on a $100 bill, and I think the casts are all going to put a $100 bill in a hat with our name and who we guess the killer is, and then at the end of the season, when it's revealed, we're all going to go through there, and whoever guessed gets the money.
Nice. Well, that'll buy you a lot of clam chowder. Thank you so much, Justin. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.